Hello, I'm Brad Teal and welcome to our October 2016 Market Snapshot. It's a little bit same this month because over the last 12, 14, 15 months it's been very consistent property growth. It's been a little bit extra each month. We've not had a month where it's tapered off. Rentals are strong again. And it's been a very consistent pattern, which is fantastic. And a lot of that is based on low interest rates. And while interest rates remain so low, people will continue to engage and borrow a little bit more, pay a little bit extra at auction, bearing in mind also that only about 22% of all sales are at auction in Melbourne, but it's the auctions that dominate mindset around how the market is performing. The capital growth in the capital cities around Australia saw Melbourne pipped for probably the first time by Canberra. So Melbourne grew at 2.3% growth and overall 5% for the quarter. On the screen you'll see the median price movements up until September 30, and you'll see huge volume turnover in Brunswick, Essendon, Coburg. So the market remains strong on anything that's basically inside the Western Ring Road, Metropolitan Ring Road, up Sydney Roadway. So really strong growth and continuing Melbourne as one of the dominant marketplaces for property in Australia. Parts of Melbourne have been dominating the landscape, and that is the single-fronted market, that inner city, that higher density inner city, close to train, close to tram, walk to work even, that 5, 6, 7k radius out from the GPO. And some of the prices that you'll see on the screen reflecting huge growth in Northcote, Footscray, gigantic growth, and well done to the Bulldogs, by the way, on a great win. Ascot Vale, Moonee Ponds, Preston, all of these areas have seen maybe as high as even $10,000 per square metre for properties. You'll note also, if you look and follow the CoreLogic facts and figures, that there has been only one capital city that has declined in the last quarter, and that is Perth. And Perth is suffering significantly at the hands of a change in fortune in the mining boom. And lots of the FIFO workers aren't buying or remaining in Perth. They're moving back to where they originally came from. And rentals, up to 5 and 6% rental vacancy factor, we are told. And that therefore reflects in a higher risk profile, and people are paying a little bit less, bargaining harder, and therefore a decline in the median price of just under 3%. So just keep an eye on that Perth marketplace. Unit approvals is also something that has been a headline act for some time because people are fearful of oversupply. And there were over 57,000 approvals for new homes and apartments up until July 31. That is a 0.2% decline on the previous year, but there's 25,880 of those approvals were for new homes and 31,548 were for apartments. In the suburbs, we still sense that the benefits of stamp duty savings roll straight into a price for developers. We're seeing that people are sometimes they're buying off the plan almost by the advantage of saving on the stamp duty, but no distinct saving on price. They're pushing back their purchase, so they buy today, but it doesn't settle for maybe 2 or 3 years. And we're seeing a decline in the sale prices after settlement. So someone may have paid $500,000 for a 2-bedroom apartment 3 years ago off the plan, believing that they were saving significantly on stamp duty. And when it settles, there are issues with either a pre-settlement bank valuation where they've got to tip in a little bit more money, but we're seeing a decline in capital values where we go and value that a couple of months after settlement, where they still haven't been able to rent it because there's been an overstatement 3 years ago of $500,000 for the sale price will generate you $500 a week in rent. Well, we're finding that it's more likely to be about $4 to $420 per week in rent, and people are having trouble. So they have a vacancy factor, they can't afford to keep it, and they're asking us to provide an opinion of value. And we're saying, look, you could be $440, $450, a massive decline of 10 to 15% straight off the top without it ever being occupied. The rental wrap. Well, we've seen up till September 30 near on 100 properties let by Prue and all of the staff in rentals once again. The 10 office network absolutely works. 2.6% vacancy factor across Melbourne. It's less than 2% for Bradfield Real Estate. When tenants give notice, we get the property let before the expiry of the 28 days notice, minimising vacancy factor and loss of rent. We also, with our ingoing and outgoing inspection reports, make sure that as a landlord you are fully informed about the condition of your property. What's the state of the carpets? Do you need to freshen up on the paint? Is the stove operational? The hot water service works properly? All of these things add to what attracts a tenant to your property. Equally, with tenants, we respond to and act according to your request for maintenance. It's in everybody's best interest to work together to keep a happy tenant, a happy landlord, and that's what we aim to do. That is our final wrap for October, and you've got a little bit of information there from RP Data, CoreLogic. We thank them once again for their facts and figures, but on all of the capital city information, the median price movements, a little bit of my commentary on the state of the new housing market, in particular the potential oversupply and what's happening with capital growth on the apartment market, and the rental wrap with a massive amount of lettings once again, minimising vacancy factor for our landlords. And we'll see you in November, just after Cup weekend, and we hope you're back a winner around that time.